What up, y'all? Welcome back to the next episode of Smoking Lyrics. It's your boy Rico here. We back for another episode. We get ready to break down some lyrics, talk about a cigar. Of course, we doing more lyrics than cigar. For this week's episode, the cigar we featuring is the Le Bijou. It's a Garcia and Garcia cigar. It's actually, the name of their line is actually My Father. My Father makes a few sticks I like, but this particular one is called the Le Bijou. And we just gonna go from there. This is a full body cigar. If you don't know, full body just means that it's extremely strong or stronger than most cigars. It's gonna have a thicker smoke. It's gonna stick to your mouth a little bit longer, give you a little bit more flavor, and it's gonna hit you a little bit harder. Might give you a light head if you smoke it without eating beforehand. So if you got a really strong cigar, I suggest you smoke it on a full stomach, or else you might get a little bit lightheaded. So it's all good. This is actually a Nicaraguan cigar. Nicaraguans make a pretty good cigar. I told y'all before I prefer Dominicans as far as who my favorites are, but Nicaraguans make a pretty good cigar too. So we in there. This episode, we're going to be going over a track from Lupe Fiasco, who we got playing right now. That's Kick Push. Of course, y'all know that's the debut single. That's not what we're going to be talking about, though. We're going to be talking about a track from a mixtape he had called Failure. In my opinion, which is fact for me, it's an opinion to y'all, but it's a fact for me. Lupe Fiasco's Failure track is probably the greatest rap song of all time in displaying entendres and just lyrical content and just genius behind what he's saying. I honestly feel like no line is wasted, like no word is wasted. Like he packed that shit to the fucking brim with just layers and layers and layers of lyrics and double and triple meanings. It's a real special track. And I'm actually not going to go over all of it because we'd probably be here for like an hour or two if I had to break down every fucking thing he said during that track. So we just going to let it play. And every now and then I'll just hone in on something that I thought was nice, especially, and we just going to kind of go from there. Virginia.
They said it was coming back around, man. Back to the lyrics, man. Okay, coming back to people like me. I say, it's me, soldier.
Now let me put the streets down like steamrollers. Bam. Like stink. Hey, like right there, let's stop it. So he said, it's me, soldiers. Now let me put the streets down like steamrollers for the cats that push 40 ounces through the hood like King Cobra. See, we sling soda. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he right there. He said, let me put the streets down like steamrollers. We all know steamrollers. The construction workers, you might be on the road driving. You see the motherfuckers, they laying down that pavement or they laying down that asphalt or that tar, paving the roads. Let me put the streets down. But of course he's talking about the streets. He's talking about the hood. Let me hold it down for the streets. Let me put the streets down like steamrollers for the cats that push. So a lot of those steamrollers is a company called Cat. You know, you see the Cat logo or whatever like that. For the cats that push 40 ounces through the hood. He talking about the drug dealers, cats, and he's also referencing those machines that are actually the steamrollers on the streets in a lot of places where the construction is being done. Like steamrollers, see, we sling soda. Like King Cobra. So he hit this King Cobra hood through the hood. A cobra's stance, when they puff that neck out, they actually look like a hood. You know what I'm saying? But King Cobra is also referencing a 40-ounce brand of beer, which was King Cobra. And that shit is heavy in the hood because we know there's liquor stores everywhere, and 40 ounces was heavy in the hood. They're typically not going to be in suburban areas and in the white neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we got the drug references going on for the niggas, the hustlers, the cats that's pushing through the hood.
toasters and clips. You can tighten your circle or
Boa constrict.
while you was lighting your purple. I was over the script. See, I could walk the walk.
Couldn't really talk the talk.
Had to get my talk to properly explain my walk. Cause this lacking talk.
Had my walk looking off.
Now I'm over the lip. Watch how they mugs drop when they see my verbals able. That's the usual. When I
Stop
was
it.
low, I was low. Now me.
So he's just talking about walking the walk and talking the talk. Of course, he's just saying he had to get all that shit in order. He had to be about what he was saying he was about. But then he was saying his walk is in order. And now he's over the limp. So like he's over his past life. He's over the struggle of having to come into all of that shit. But then he said, watch how they mugs drop when they see my verbals able. So if y'all ever seen the movie Usual Suspects, or if you haven't, I'm just going to tell you. So there's a character in the movie Usual Suspects named Kaiser Sose, and he's played by Kevin Spacey. One of the things that he did, he played this dude named Verbal Kent. And part of his con with this Verbal Kent dude was that he had a limp and everything like that. So towards the end of the movie, after he gets off of one of the crimes that he's been charged with, the main detective that was investigating him, when he walked out of the courtroom at the trial, he's walking away, but the detective sees all of a sudden in slow motion, Verbal Kent or Kaiser Soze, he stops walking with the limp, and he's like, as he's observing this, he's drinking a cup of coffee and he just drops his mug in slow motion. So he's like, watch how they mugs drop when they see my verbals able. Of course, Lupe, when he's saying the word verbal, he's talking about his rapping skills. He's talking about his lyrical ability. So people in the hood see that he's extremely able with these words and with these lyrics. So his verbal is able. And watch how they mugs drop. We talking about they face, they mouth. Watch how they mugs drop. They in shock and awe as he's spitting these lyrics. Right, keep going. On the rap laureate. Nah, stop it. This is too much. So he said, when I was po, I was low. Now me and my chaps cop purple label. It's Ralph Lauren on the rap laureate. So we all know who Ralph Lauren is. He's a heavyweight in the fashion game, especially in the hood, especially with the polo. But he said, when I was po, I was low. So when he was poor, because we going at the double entendres here, it's just the way he's saying the word. When I was poor, I was low. So he was feeling bad. When he was poor, he was low, but it also polo. Now me and my chaps. Ralph Lauren also owned the brand called Chaps, and that was the lesser line of what he was saying. So when Lupe was poor, he was copping Chaps. But Chaps also refers to your friends, your homies, or whatever. When I was poor, I was low. Now me and my Chaps cop purple label. But this is triple layered because Ralph Lauren also has the purple label line of polo, which typically doesn't have the emblem on it and all this shit, except for like on the pants, you might have that purple label, or you might have the purple label inside of the collar. So when I was poor, I was low. Now me and my Chaps cop purple label. It's Ralph Lauren on the rap laureate. So he's giving you, hey, I said all of this shit, polo, Chaps, purple label, and then we linking it back to Ralph Lauren because that's where it all comes from. So as he went through his phases in life, came up the motherfucking ladder, he was able to get new gear that cost more and that was more exclusive. But then he's also the rap laureate, which means, hey man, I'm more intelligent than you niggas. I'm the best rapper out here probably, because like in literature, the fucking poet laureate every year is who they consider to be the best nigga out there. Let's keep it going.
To him, runners are in a scope,
It's not as stout as him. Please don't interscope.
It's gonna be a whole lot of Irene and respirate. And if I lean out this window with Irene,
Let's stop it.
niggas as tall as Yao Ming, yep.
All right, so he said, runners of Interscope is not as stout as him. Please don't Interscope. It's going to be a whole lot of Irene and respirate. And if I lean out this window with Irene. All right, so if y'all know back in the day and probably still now. So Steve Stout is the owner of Interscope, right? So he said it's going to be, runners of Interscope is not as stout as him. Steve Stout, the nigga who runs Interscope, is not, he don't have as much stature as him. Then he said, please don't enter scope. Don't walk into the front of the scope lens. Don't walk into the scope lens because it's going to be a whole lot of IVing and respirating. But he's also saying IVing as in Jimmy Iovine, who was also a partner in Interscope Records. It's gonna be a whole lot of IV and respirating if I lean out this window with Irene. So if I lean out this window, roll the car window down, shoot at you niggas, y'all niggas is gonna be on IVs and respirators. Let's keep it going. Our beams and the antennas. It's so serious every time I write my giant Hancock like could damn near see Detroit. Niggas is scared of heights. Potpourri, a little machine, or I stack my paper and throw off my six. This is top flow, better look out below. Pennies from heaven is the same as a semi from the sector. And I reign supreme, turn your umbrellas upside down. Did you even catch the change in theme? This is X Lupe to the F to the I to the A to the S to the C to the O from the west side. So this cigar tastes like raisins and chocolate. So chocolate covered raisins. We gonna go with that. Zane Watts, Noah from his regime, gangster lean, hats on tilt like this niggas ain't dropped out the vending machine. You gotta put more money in, and I shake niggas up every time I drop a bar. Let's pause it. Alright, man. We'll just start from the beginning, and then I'll get to the part. So he said, the niggas ain't Was. His name is Wasulu. Noah from his regime, gangster lean, hats on tilt like your niggas ain't dropped out the vending machine. Right, so he got his hat tilted. Of course, niggas in the hood wear their hats all sorts of ways. Sometimes it's just gonna be tilted. So he got the tilted brim on, like your Snickers ain't dropped out the vending machine. We all know you put some money in the vending machine and that shit don't come all the way out. We start fucking tilting that bitch over trying to make that motherfucker come out. And then he said, and I shake niggas up every time I drop a bar. The other part of tilting that bitch over, it still don't come out. We shaking that motherfucker up until that fucking bar drop out that he talking about. But he's talking about rapping. He shake niggas up every time he spit a fucking verse. Right. Every time I drop a bar, it's a horse in the portion, bricks in the box like more money them. Every time I cop a car, you see I'm a roller, right? So it might be a rover, right? But every time I drop a R, get off the street, it's over, right? Bet I be in the head like overnight, like rollers, right? She the chauffeur, right? So I keep her sober. She don't get FedEx like overnight. I am Dolomite. All that gas can't help you but solar mic, so just call on some. Drop a S, pick up a O, you know, put it all on one. Brace yourself like overbite for that quiet nigga who relocated out south. Coming back to floors, nigga, get your molars right, fix your grill. Jesus. No black, but a whole lot of cheese. It's the drill, Mr. Chill gave me the let's stop it. He said, brace yourself like overbite. So of course, if you got an overbite, you're gonna go to the dentist and you're gonna get braces. But of course, you bracing yourself. Get ready, like get ready. I'm about to spit some real hard shit at y'all. You know what I'm saying? For that quiet nigga who relocated down south, coming back to floss. We still on this mouth shit, this dentist shit, getting your grill right. So obviously, floss. Niggas floss in the hood when they got some new shit, got some new shoes, new car, new whip, whatever it is that you got, you flossing on niggas when you got some new shit. And he said, no plaque, but a whole lot of cheese. This the drill. No plaque. At this point, he was just a mixtape artist, so he ain't got no plaques on the wall. You know what I'm saying? But he still flexed on these niggas because he a better rapper than all of them. No cheese, but a whole lot of cheese. In the mixtape tape game, he was still getting a lot of money because the shit was selling. He was still doing shows, you know what I'm saying? And this is the drill. This is the drill. Dentists be drilling and shit, but this is also just this the daily drill. This is my life drill. This is what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? And then he went from there, and we ain't even got to the part yet, but he just like gave me the green light like Yoda knife. Y'all already know what that's about. Star Wars, green lightsabers, Yoda's knife. It's just real. And so I'm going to force my will like the force I willed. Of course you will. In Star Trek, they talk about the force. I'm going to force my will like the force I willed. The force that he has. The force he fucking has over the streets and over this rap game. Let's keep it going.
roller, right? So it might be a rover, right? But every time I drop a R, get off the streets. Oh, right. Bet I be in a head like overnight, like
Rollers, right?
She the chauffeur, right? So I keep her sober.
She don't get FedEx like overnight.
I am Dolomite. All that gas can't help you but solar might. So just call on son. Drop a S, pick up a O.
You know, put it all on one.
Brace yourself like overbite.
For that quiet nigga.
They relocated out south, coming back to floors. Nigga, get your molars right, fix your grill. No plaque, but a whole lot of cheese. Mr. Drill, Mr. Chill gave me the green light like Yoda knife. So I'ma force my will like the force I will. Of course you will. I take my time, but wait behind only pertains to that Porsche grill. It's snakes in the hood. Gotta watch for that cobra bite. Let me see, there's snakes in the hood. A bird, a horse behind the grill. A gator on the seat and a fox behind the wheel. No, it's not. No, it's up.
Let's stop it.
It's just a flow.
And man, he said this weight behind only pertains to the Porsche grill. So a Porsche is heavy as a heavy ass car. He's also moving weight, meaning he's selling drugs in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But he's also heavy in the rap game. And then he said you gotta watch for that cobra bite. But before that, he said the snakes in the hood. So he back to the original line where he was talking about the cobras in the hood of the cobra. But it's snakes. That means there's some shiesty ass niggas in the hood. He back to the hood that he came from. You know what I'm saying? And then he said it's a bird, a horse behind the grill. It's a bird, back to the drugs again. We all know what that is, but it's behind the grill. You know what I'm saying? The grill of the car. Then he said some gator on the seat. Of course, we talking about the motherfucking leather on the seat. So he done got the car tricked out, got some gator on this motherfucker. And then it's a fox behind the wheel. So it's a nice chick in the car as well. And then he said, no, it's not Noah's Ark. We all know it was a bunch of animals on the motherfucking ark. But of course, he's saying he got all this shit in the car. He's relating it to a bunch of animals. But it ain't Noah's Ark. He just flexing on y'all niggas. It's just a flow of start. This is just the start of the motherfucking rap. Let's keep it going.
So this is Lupe to the F to the I to the A to the S to the C to the O. From the west side of the C to the H to the I.
Real talk, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I gotta look through my notes on this bitch. Cause it's that serious. And we ain't even went over half of it. I'm letting a bunch of shit just fly. Lupe, Duce, long live the leader.
I remember I ain't have sneakers, it was welfare. Coming up for airs like whales there. Feelers, but now I'm well here. I'm Shamu with 12 pair. And niggas wanna take me back
the zero like tear. Fair.
Well, my scales clear. You see, world is braille here.
Yeah.
I'm Bumpy Johnson, I stick to the streets, keep my dogs out in front of me. You see what I'm saying? And I push keys wonderfully. Man.
Alright, let's do it.
Man, this is gangster, man.
Alright, so this is really the last verse of the song. But it's like extremely dope. So, but we gonna start from like the halfway point. They said, I remember I ain't have sneakers, it was welfare. Coming up for airs like whales there. He coming up for air like whales, right? So he was on welfare, but then he coming up for airs like when we talking about Air Jordans. Then, but whales also have to come up for air because they don't actually breathe in the water, similar to dolphins. They're actually mammals. They just happen to be living in the water, but they can't breathe in that shit like fish do. And he said, feeler, but now I'm well here. But he, in the beginning of the verse, he was talking about coughing and all this other shit that I didn't want to get into. But of course, now he's got a little bit of money. So the sickness is gone. The sickness of poverty and all that shit is gone. So he's well here. Then he said, I'm Shamu with 12 pair. Now he's Shamu the whale, going back to that whale reference. And he got 12 pair of fucking Jordans, at least at this particular time. But niggas want to take me back to zero like tear. If you know anything about scales, or those digital ones for sure, there's a fucking tear button that's gonna take you back to 0. But he's saying niggas want to jack him in the hood, niggas want to bring him down, they want to take him back to poverty, because niggas be hating. They want to take me back to 0 like tear. He say it's fair, right? Then he say, well, my scales clear. But this is a double entendre with the words skills and scales. My scale is clear. My skills is clear. Y'all see what the fuck I'm doing lyrically. My skills is well clear, but now my scale is actually clear as well. So we back to 0. You see world. He telling everybody, y'all see what the fuck I'm doing, but also see world, back to the wells again, because SeaWorld has some wells on hand. It's Braille here. I'm Bumpy Johnson. I stick to the streets. Blind people, obviously, see. They can't see, but he painting the picture for you like Braille does for them. Then he says, I'm Bumpy Johnson. Braille is Bumpy. Bumpy Johnson was a Harlem gangster. He was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? He was in the streets. Stick to the streets. Blind people walk with a stick. They keep the stick to the streets. It's always on the ground so they can watch for curves and bumps and all that shit so they can go around it. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, I keep my dogs out in front of me. Back to the blind people again. They keep a dog out in front of them. But he's also talking about I keep my niggas out in front of me. They protecting him or whatever the case may be from whatever drama may come. And then he said, you see what I'm saying? Again, we going back to this blind shit and seeing shit. But he's saying also, you see what I'm saying, like Dragon Ball Z. And he ended that shit with saying, and I push keys wonderfully. Stevie Wonder is blind. I might be reaching on this one, but Stevie Wonder is blind and he's pushing keys. But then also in Dragon Ball Z, they push key. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that saying shit come in. And we just, it's a fucking flawless song lyrically. We could probably keep going and I could go back to the first verse or the second verse and give y'all some more shit. But I honestly think we gonna leave it at that for this particular episode just because I don't want it to be that long and the nigga is tired. And we should leave it right there. But y'all see what that nigga did. Hey, listen, this cigar right here is actually one of the strongest cigars that I've smoked, and it's hitting the nigga for real right now. It was probably an hour or so ago that I ate, which is fine. But the flavor lingers, and I really enjoy this stick, especially if I got a lot of time on hand to just sit out, relax, and smoke a stick. If y'all got some favorite Lupe Fiasco lyrics, or if you know a bunch of the lines that's in that particular song that I didn't go over or that you think I missed that was special that you should put in the comment section, let's go ahead and do that and we'll talk about it. And do not forget to hit that like and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And y'all tune in with your boy next week. This has been another episode of Smoking Lyrics, and we out.
Shades, the spotlights here can burn holes in the stage. Down through the basement, past the Indian graves where the dinosaurs laid, and out through China, and this is airliners magnified times 5. This is pointed at the rhyme, ricochets off the moon.